One of the best pleasures I find about New York is that within a few short distances, you're in another borough. Our own version of hopping around the island, really, via train, plane, automobile, by land, by water. A frequent A to B adventure during a weekly commute, but full of pleasurable possibilities on one's day off. And on tonight's plan, food, friends, and Brooklyn. The home of Maureen Riley and John Dixon is just like them. Warm, welcoming, and just very much the cool place to be. Enticing and fantastic collections from layered joys and journeys, the perfect canvas for which tonight's dinner will be held.
Someone to take my heart and give his heart to me. Someone who's really true.
What is my question? Will we have a delicious dinner? Even though I know the answer. Come on. You know you want to come up? Come on. There you go. Spin again! Our chefs for this evening are Caroline McAuliffe and Cheryl Paswater, both women entrepreneurs, educators, artists, and collaborating to create a vegan menu for their guests. What follows is almost an exemplary showing of what happens at a meal, which, although within certain dietary restrictions, is something we were ready to experience, both in great anticipated company and comfort. Cheryl in her alias mode as Dr. Delicious, and Caroline representing her brand, Goldpennyloafer. A meal that will subtract gluten, dairy, and soy for the evening, and will feature more of the other given bounties of this earth: cooked, fermented, the classic, and the reimagined.
It smells amazing.
The create and play iconic picture now actually eating. All right, here we go. Ooh, it's very good. For the ultimate meat lovers, such as myself and my husband, it was probably going to do us some good to get some more of the plant-based going in our lives. But more so, I was here to support two awesome women and friends in their missions, to help educate and show folks the enjoyment in sharing their food and bringing us all together to do so.
It's all vegan, gluten-free, soy-free, and free of processed sugars. We can make things nut-free as well, or we can adapt to people's different needs. We keep it clean, local, and for the most part organic. I was brought up as my mother's assistant in throwing parties, so for my entire life I've been throwing parties, and I love to cook, and my own specific health needs drove me to eating this way, and then it kind of just became a creative way to share what I was already doing in my own kitchen.
What do you hope for the future of Goldpennyloafer?
That we wind up really being in a position to educate more people and young people. So really bringing what I've gained, what knowledge I've gained to other people to make some different choices or some alternate choices.
I was already fermenting and started my fermentation company called Contraband Ferments. I don't know, I had some friends. I was at acupuncture one day and she was talking about, she's like, hasn't anybody ever called you delicious? And I was like, no. And then they were like, you're totally delicious. And then all these random people would just started calling me delicious. That weren't even at this event, just kind of totally randomly. And hence Dr. Delicious was born. I'm gluten-free. I don't do a lot of dairy. I'm actually not vegan, unlike Caroline. So it's interesting because we have things in common with our food, but we're also doing our bodies need actually similar and very different things at the same time. I tend to focus on more the fermentation end of things. So tonight, I made a fermented buckwheat bread that's gluten-free. I made kombucha. I made a beet kvass with citrus and ginger, and I made a fermented celery root with fennel, caraway, and turmeric. As long as I can be a maker and focus on arts and fermentation and workshops. At some point I won't have to work other jobs, I'll just have to, be a maker. And mushroom ragu. Combination of locally foraged portobello and shiitake mushrooms.
I wish you all could smell this. It's actually, the smell-o-vision is fantastic.
Smell-o-vision.
Very
Nom, nom, nom,
much.
nom,
Queen
nom.
Elizabeth wave.
Prep nearly done. It's time to party. Table set, fire cider going.
Unexpected.
It's fire cider.
As guests trickle in, and we indulge in some of our pre-dinner discoveries and nibbles, the experience we come for eventually has us gathered around the dinner table. About 20 folks from all walks of life, hungry and ready to indulge in a 3-course vegan dinner made with love.
It's a combination of carrots, leeks, celery root, butternut squash, thyme, roasted garlic. With a mushroom ragu with portobello, shiitake mushrooms, fresh herbs, onions, garlic, tomato.
Ending our meal with a persimmon and pear stack with balsamic reduction, one might ask themselves the question of what sets a pop-up dinner experience apart from that from just going out to a vegan restaurant. Simply put, because of the freedom and allowance for moments like these to happen. As with many experiences in our journeys, some of us will start as strangers, to each other, to food, to new places. But I say, if it's a joy that serves to benefit bringing folks together like this, literally, creating harmony, and everyone invited to the table, in a world where there is plenty out there that seems to be separating us these days, moments like these tonight from a warm place given by warm people, and having Caroline and Cheryl having fed the rest of the cause, is reason enough to say, it was a great time. Let's try to make and have many more of them.